Okay, boys and girls, here we have our last video for the week. And in this video, we're going to be going over what I expect of you in the assignment and what you're going to be doing for this first assignment, okay? And for this first assignment, it is a book journal that we will be completing. But we're going to be completing just parts of it. You don't have to do it all at once, okay? Especially because this is our first time and we're going to be trying to learn how to do things, especially because I won't be there to help you like during actual class time. We're going to be seeing how this goes. Okay, so for this, you will go back to the project, Outsiders on Trial. You're going to be checkpoint 1. You're going to click on the book journal, open that up, and it will open this so that, and then you go down, and there's going to be 6 book journal entries. Okay, for this week, all you have to do is 1. And we're going to do entry 1, chapters 1 and 2, because we've already read chapters 1 and 2. Okay, so if you read the directions, it says after you read chapter 2 of The Outsiders, summarize your characters' important actions, looks, impressions, speech, and thoughts, A list. And if you don't know what A list is, you're going to go to read that or see that video so we have a better understanding of what you're expected to do here or what A list is. And then you will also be doing the flavor on a character. Okay, so here's a very important part. You can only choose one of 3 characters. You will only choose Ponyboy, Johnny, or Dallas. Dally. He's like the rough one, okay? Ponyboy, Johnny, or Dally. Those are the one. You choose one of those. You cannot choose 2-Bit. You cannot choose Soda Pop. You cannot choose Dairy. You have to choose Johnny, Ponyboy, or Dally. Those are the only 3 you can choose from. Okay? That's very important because hopefully when we get back to class, we're going to be doing our trials. And when we do those trials, it will be one of those 3 characters. Okay? So again, Johnny, Ponyboy, or Dally. Those are the only 3 characters you can choose from. For our example that I'm going to be doing here, I'm going to be choosing Dairy. So you can't copy me because I'm not one of the 3 you can choose from. Okay, so once you open up this book journal, you should also open up the book, which is on Google Classroom. So again, if you don't have it open, just pause and then have it open it up and then join us back here. So you're going to want to have the book open because during the book journal, you're actually going to be having to do some quotes. Okay. So for my example, and again, this is an example, I'm going to be choosing Dairy. Okay. So what do? We have here, insert your character's name. I'll put Dairy. Dairy's actions include, so what are the things that he does in chapter 1 or 2? Okay, and he's more prevalent in chapter 1. So Dairy's actions include, we can say picking on Ponyboy. You know, he says those things about him not being smart. Okay, so his actions include picking on Ponyboy and um, like getting on his case, getting like what he's like, why were you doing that? Why'd you go out by yourself? You should be carrying a blade with you and stuff like that. Okay, his appearance is described as, and again we can go to the book and then you can look up his appearance. You can also open up your chapter 1 questions, because I had a question there that said what Dairy looks like. Okay, so we can and then we can copy and paste this. Okay, so we can just copy and paste like the first thing. We could say what he's looking like. Okay, delete some of this stuff, so look like that. Okay. So his appearance is described as, okay, so we'll take away this so it makes sense like an actual sentence. His appearance described as 6'2", broad-shouldered, muscular, dark brown hair, kind of hair like Dad's, but Derry's eyes are his own. Okay. Other characters like blank think he is blank. So for this, you have to choose another character. So other characters like, I'm going to use Ponyboy, but you can use any other character. Other characters like 2-Bit, other characters like Soda Pop, other characters like Steve Randall. Okay, but for Derry, I'm gonna use Ponyboy. So other characters like Ponyboy think he is, like, we'll say mean, and we'll put demanding. Demanding. Okay. So this is what other characters see him as. Okay. What other people see him as. Now we're gonna go with some of the stuff he says. So what does he say? So again, what's one of the most important things he says about Ponyboy? If we go through our thing here, let's see where we have it. Where'd it go? And then here in page 12, we have him say, you don't ever think, not at home or anywhere where it counts. You must think at school with all those good grades you bring home and you always got your nose in the book, but do you ever use your head for common sense? No, sirree, bub. And if you did have to go by yourself, you should have carried a blade. So what we can put is you don't ever think. Okay, we'll put that. We'll copy that. We'll say he says this. So this is the stuff he says. This is his dialogue. This is not his thoughts. He says you don't ever think. And what does he think? For Derry, we do not know what he thinks. So we're not going to put anything there. The same thing would be true for Johnny and Dally. Okay. We don't know exactly what they think. Derry doesn't tell us what he thinks. We have an idea. Ponyboy thinks he knows what Derry thinks, but we're not sure. Okay, so for this, if you're using Dally or Johnny, you don't need to put what he thinks. If you're using Ponyboy, you do have to put what he thinks. Because obviously we're in his head, so we can see that. Alrighty. And then next we have the flavor. So we're going to choose one. Okay. We're going to choose one of these to try to assign some personality elements to Derry. But again, you're using Johnny, Ponyboy, or Dally. Okay, so for Derry, we don't really know him at this point in chapter 1 or 2. So there's not much we can talk about with his fears, flaws, his longings, his values or aspirations. We don't know much about him just based on this first chapter. So the one thing we can choose is his attitude. Okay, so what is his attitude? And I'm going to put up this link on Google Classroom as well. And it has these personality values, character traits, all this stuff that you can. So in case you can't think of one yourself, for Johnny, Ponyboy, or Dally, they're here, so you can see what they look like. And in case, like, again, you're having a hard time coming up with them. But for Dally, I'm gonna put his attitude is demanding. That means that he's always wants something from Ponyboy, is in particular, and rough. So he's not nice, okay? Just based on what Ponyboy has been telling us so far. And I need a quote. I need a sentence from the book that tells me, that shows that he's demanding and rough. So I'm going to go to the book. And again, you want to have the book open so you can find this stuff. And I'm going to take this part right here. Just this part right here. Okay. And we're going to put the quote here. And then we're going to put the page number, which is page, I believe, 12. It is 12. Okay. So the quotation I chose, the sentence from the book that I chose is, if I brought home B's, he wanted A's. And if I got A's, he wanted to make sure they stayed A's. If I was playing football, I should be in studying. And if I was reading, I should be out playing football. This shows how he is demanding and rough. Okay? Because again, he's not being as nice as he can. As nice as he can to his little brother. He's being demanding. He's like, if you have B's, then they need to be A's and they need to stay A's. Or he's rough because he's getting mad at him if he's playing football and he should be reading. Or he's getting mad at him because he's reading and he should be playing football. So this is a good quotation, a good sentence from the book that shows how Derry is demanding and rough. So what you will need to do is find a quotation or a sentence from the book that shows whatever it is about Johnny, Ponyboy, or Dally that you think that they are. Okay? And for this one, maybe we'll just go with attitude. For this first entry, we'll just stay with attitude. Okay? So, for this bottom part, we'll put my character is demanding and he is rough. It is revealed when Ponyboy is thinking of all the ways that he needs to be perfect for Derry, sorry. And then we'll put, this moment shows how Derry is expecting too much out of Ponyboy. Okay, and once you get here, you are done with this assignment for the week. Okay? So, when we do this, after you're done with this, on your screen, it should have a little request feedback. You're going to request feedback because I need to make sure that you're only choosing, again, Johnny, Dally, or Ponyboy. Can't choose anyone else. I chose Derry just for an example, so you guys could see. And if you need help again, if you forget what exactly each one has, just rewind the tape, rewind the video, so you can see what each part needs to look like or something like that. But I hope this helps as much as I can. Again, I understand that it's a little weird because I'm just teaching you and trying to tell you how to do things through video. But after you're done with these, I will have a Zoom meeting open today from like 2:15 to 3 o'clock. And if you have any questions, please come and ask. Come see me and ask, so that we can try to get you to do this as correctly as you can. Okay? Well, I'll see you guys later.